Well, campaigning in Bangladesh's election is underway as voters prepare to cast their ballots on the 12th of February. It's also the first election since Sheikh Hasina was ousted from power in a youth-led uprising that stemmed from a deadly crackdown against anti-government protesters in 2024. So what can we expect from these elections? Dr. Mubashar Hasan is an expert on Bangladeshi politics from the University of Western Sydney, and he joins me now. Good to have you with us, Mubashar. Let's first I want to go to the Bangladesh Nationalist Party. It's been seen as the main opposition for quite some time. It is considered the front runner by some, and the party of the country's first female PM, the late Khaleda Zia, and now her son, Tariq Rahman, is the leader. Is he likely to become the next prime minister?
He is most likely to become the next prime minister. And everywhere he is going, there are seas of people who are there to greet him because he was living in exile for over 17 years, and it was a big event on the day of his return. I was in Dhaka at that day, and I've seen the enthusiasm across the different classes of the society.
Now, the other significant player is the Islamist party, the Jamaat-e-Islami. Now, they are in a coalition with the Liberal Democratic Party and also the student-led NCP that formed against the backdrop of those huge protests that ultimately ousted Sheikh Hasina. Does this coalition, do you expect that this coalition would mount a genuine challenge to the BNP?
I wouldn't think so, but I would expect them to form a good number of opposition seats in the parliament. But it's really, people have not been voting in Bangladesh for past 15 years. We need to see how it plays out on the day.
Now, on its own, a lot of people are talking about the National Citizen Party. This is youth party, that came out of these massive Gen Z protests. Its leader, Nahid Islam, I wonder, has this party been able to gain any political traction over these past few months? And might this be a party for the future?
It managed to gain some momentum, but because it made an alliance with the Islamist Jamaat Islami. There were, I think, over 20 of its women leaders stepped out of the party. So for future, there could be another realignment. So this could get out of Jamaat Islami, and then other parties could join in. And there is also a new leftist party that formed that included many of the leaders of this uprising. So there are a lot of alignment and realignment going on among the Gen Zs.
So is this at least for now, is this a comfortable alliance? There's a huge gap between the ages of both party leaders. Shafiqur Rahman, he's 67. Nahid Islam, he's only 27.
Yeah, I think it's an alliance of that serves both of them better, because NCP doesn't have the network across the country where Jamaat has this network. And Jamaat is stigmatized because of its Islamist image. And NCP leaders leading this protest and having a bit of liberal outlook, that could serve Jamaat better.
Now, Sheikh Hasina's Awami League, they've been banned from these elections. So how do you see their supporters voting? Would they switch their votes to other parties, or would they just not turn up to vote at all?
So there are a lot going on in the Awami League voters as well. There will be some, personally, I know they will vote, and some they will not go out and vote, because there are some level of repression going on in the country. I've seen over the Awami League journalists and also academics who are deemed to be affiliated with Awami League. So it will be mixed. We can't actually say that all the Awami League supporters will go and vote, and so there will be mixed thing.
And what about Muhammad Yunus, the interim leader, the Nobel laureate? Who is he supporting, and how critical will his support be one way or the other?
Um, it- I don't know who is he supporting, but what he did is he made the return of Tariq Rahman very smooth. He also been supporting NCP and also Jamaat. It seems to me the only party he's not supporting is Awami League.
Okay. And just finally, I do wonder what might we see sort of happening in terms of relations with with India, because we've heard the ousted leader, she's in exile there. She was given a platform to speak via an audio address to the Correspondents Club in New Delhi. She's used that to criticize these elections as not being free and fair. What do you make of Sheikh Hasina, who's been sentenced to death over the killings of more than 1,000 protesters, being given a platform to speak in India?
So it seems to me India wants to make and keep Hasina relevant to Bangladesh. I've spent over a month and a half in December and in January in Bangladesh, and I don't see Hasina is relevant at all. But New Delhi is trying to push their political space and maybe make it relevant for Hasina. But I think it's not going to play out well for Bangladesh-India relationship.
Yes, and do you see perhaps after these elections, once a government is installed and sworn into the parliament, into the government, do you believe there might be efforts by either Delhi or Dhaka to reset relations between Bangladesh and India?
Oh, definitely, because India has been saying for a long time that they're looking for a an elected government. And I think there will be much more smoother relationship between India and Bangladesh. But that needs to, the Hasina question needs to be resolved as well.
Okay, Dr. Mubashar Hasan, really appreciate your analysis on the program this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting.